Welcome to Season 3 of Pod Practice with Team USA player Quinn Kins, Team USA Grandmaster player Mikey Lunn, and myself, Alex Atkins. You can now find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and anywhere you listen to your podcasts. We want to keep growing the Pod Practice community, so reach out to us with your thoughts on IG and YouTube at podpractice_pod, or email us at show@podpracticepod.com. I hope you enjoyed the episode. It's a nice glass.
Hell yeah, Mike.
I'm in wine country. I must have told the how did you end up with the Czech Mixed Team story 60 times. It's crazy.
You're about to fucking tell it again. So.
Yeah, because you're fucking, how did you end up with the Czech Mixed Team? It's ridiculous.
I would say, yeah, it's a pretty valid question.
Just get me fucking in.
What's up, everybody?
What are you doing? What are you doing with the Czech?
We're back. Sorry for being gone for so long, but we're back.
Yeah.
Mike, how did you end up with the Czech Mixed Team at U24s? That's crazy, man.
Yeah, so we're going to touch on Super Team, but we were obviously at London Invite together. Mini Kins there. You're Christina.
Bro, get going with your damn story, bro. What are you doing? About to take 30 minutes to talk about this damn Czech team.
You got no chair.
All right, Tokay. So we were on the hill watching finals, right? Having pizza and beer, and we were all talking about what our plans were after the tournament. And I said to the group that I was considering going up to U24s after, because I wanted to extend the Europe trip for a little bit. And I wanted to watch Zeke and Toby play for the men's USA team. But I was like, I'm probably not going to go because I think they're just going to smash whoever they're playing the first day. And I was not planning on staying the whole week because it sounded expensive and logistically difficult. But then Christina turns to me and she's like sitting on the hill. And like, if you know her, she's got the big puppy dog eyes and then kind of put the hands together. Like, wait, will you coach us? Will you coach the Czech team?
She literally begged you. Like she hands and knees begging.
And it was, yeah. And you know, I think it's been a great experience for both sides actually, but I also think they would have won all the games that they've won and lost the 2 games that they lost. Like, I'm helping, but I don't think I've made it.
What the fuck are you doing, Mike?
You're helping.
Get your shit together.
They have a good team. But what's really cool, they've been running AP for. I didn't even put this together, but you know, Michael Merrick, is like talked. Like I think we've all talked to him. Is Czech, and I didn't even think about that. And so after, like the next day, he messaged me and he's like, "I heard you might be taking over the Czech team," which is a strong overstatement.
Dude, you should have.
But
taking it over.
No, it's great. The leadership's very good, actually. Their other coach, his name is Martin. He's very good. He's like has the right demeanor for everything. But it's a very seamless transition. Like there's very few people more qualified to be an AP consultant than me. Although they run some things quite differently. They even use like our language for left and right. They use it backwards. They actually don't use it for the mark. They say around and inside, which does like the way that, so like if you're listening, the way that we our marking progressions work, we may dynamically change it when at any given time. But because of the way that they've learned it and been able to teach it without people who have run it a lot, they haven't really been able to establish that.
I struggled. The marking is like the way people talk about marking is different in Europe, it seems like, because I was struggling on Tokay SuperTeam to like when Ine and PA would call forces, it would be like the opposite of what my brain like they're. So that was difficult. So I understand why.
What do you mean?
They like they would say we're gonna force them left, and it would be that we're gonna force them to the left instead of left. So it would be the opposite.
Yeah. I understand.
So they'd be like flat to left, and I was like, okay, sure, but it's the opposite of what my brain.
They were talking about
thinks.
the thrower's perspective of left,
basically, or the field perspective. Yeah,
the offensive field's perspective.
Yeah, the offensive field perspective. So
it's like saying skier's right or looker's right.
Yeah. So that makes sense.
It's all about perspective, man.
But it's pretty hilarious. The Christina is awesome, by the way. That's such a funny story. It was so funny.
She's like
I love
the
that you're
cutest
there
person I've ever met, actually. This is kind of a funny story. We were at brunch as a team, and there's a player on the team. Her name's Dencha, and I said, Dencha is like very mature. She is. It's just a statement. And then the rest of the day, Christina is just trying to convince me that she's also mature. Because if you
she
know
also
her,
tries to convince everybody that she's shy, but she's like
outgoing.
Literally not the most outgoing person in the room at any time.
Yeah, she's funny.
I got
that's
a good
how
pick for you to clip in, Mike. You can pick in a clip of me and Christina during this. It'll be good.
Okay, yeah, send it to me. But anyway, so I can't stay for the whole tournament. We've completely lost Kins. He's just evaporated. But we've made quarterfinals, which is sick. So we came in seeded 18th. Not that anything, the WIFDF seedings don't really mean anything because like not all the teams have played and disorganized. By the way, I vented and complained about disc orgs across the world with many different people here in Logrono, Spain. I know they're trying,
Mike. What are you doing? Where are you going? Where are you going on Friday? What's going on right after you leave here?
Yeah, so a big part of Bravo's identity is competitive integrity. Basically,
what does that mean?
We've told this story before, but I guess I'll quickly recap it. Because Bravo finished 7th at Nationals last year, we are now required to attend Pro Elite Challenge. And we are also attending US Open and Pro Champs, which any other year for us was good enough to fulfill regular season requirements. But because of competitive integrity, we are being required to attend Pro Elite Challenge because they don't want to open the door for other teams to request this sort of exception. But
they're closing doors.
Because they are.
They're
closing doors for a lot of people, to be honest. Like a lot of teams that would be interested in having this spot and could compete with integrity at this tournament. So you guys, Kins will talk about your situation maybe, but Summit will be. Oh, you already did. Summit will be in Seattle and Portland on a road trip, and most of our roster for Bravo is also a Summit player. So we essentially have nobody available for Pro Elite Challenge. But if we do not attend, we are disqualified.
And Ring is in the same boat, so Ring has basically no one too, and I'm sure there's a few other teams are too.
Yeah.
So Mike's rostered this weekend.
I'm not just Coach Mike anymore.
Player Mike.
Bro, it's unbelievable.
That is the heinous HANUS heinous. The most heinous thing ever.
Heinous, bro. Heinous.
The Grandmaster Mike coming out of retirement, I guess.
Oh my God, I cannot wait to watch.
Get cooked by some 25-year-olds. After flying,
After being in
20
Europe for a
hours
month and
straight,
flying
yeah.
20 hours.
So we'll see. We'll see how things go.
Well, that's all good stuff. That's all. And you got semis tomorrow against Singapore?
Quarters.
Oh, it's quarters
Yeah,
tomorrow against Singapore.
Singapore's strong too. They were in finals last cycle, and
Yeah. Are they seeded first this year, or second this year?
second, yeah.
Second.
They're probably, if I just by watching the teams, I would guess has played the fourth or fifth best of all the teams. Like U.S. obviously,
Okay. Yeah.
then some order of France, Canada, Japan, and Singapore, and we're like not far behind, and have the talent to compete, but it'll be
Rally the troops, Mike. Let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
rah,
we'll
rah,
rally.
baby.
Get them going. Come on.
That's Coach Mike.
Come on, Coach
Yeah.
Mike. The fuck? We didn't
Yeah.
we're
Player
gonna fly
coach
you
Mike.
out here.
Yeah, that's why they booked me this Airbnb. I suppose.
We didn't get you this for fucking.
Are you by
nothing,
yourself
dude.
in there? They booked you one by yourself?
No, I'm sharing. His name's Patrick. He's not here right now though, but it's worked out because we have air conditioning. It is insanely hot in Spain.
How are the fields? The fields look so
they're
mid.
terrible.
They look terrible.
They're like destroy your body condition. Like people
it
are
looks-
like leaving it. Yeah,
It looks
old
thin
turf.
and like carpet and no rubber left and like super hard and
Oh,
abrasive.
all
It looks
rubber,
bad.
maybe. It's bad.
It looks bad.
The complex is kind of sick. Like the stands are really nice,
Sure.
but the turf itself is terrible, and the heat has been really brutal. And a lot of teams,
damn.
and the Czech team does not have air conditioning, and I know a lot of them haven't been sleeping. Martin's wife, Coach Martin's wife, Teresa, is also pregnant and staying there, and
Jesus.
is now sick. So
Ain't no way, bro.
I will say, somebody needs to European educate me on a few things when I was in. I need someone to, so DM us. I like in Portugal and even London. Why are all the beds and couches and shit so hard?
Oh.
And tiny. There's no there's no soft beds, there's no soft couches, there's no soft chairs. So I'm sleeping on rocks, and there's no AC in the room, so I'm sleeping on a rock in 80-degree weather. I'm just like dying. Also, what's like this might be Portugal specific, but like the walking situation, nobody chooses to walk on the right or the left. Nobody moves out of the way for each other. It is so weird. It's just chaos. It's just like fight for yourself type situation. So somebody tell me what's up with that. Devin and I were just like dumbfounded the whole time we were there. We're like just getting walked into.
I think we might just be dumb Americans. I'm not sure.
Yes. So I am, yes, prefaced, I am dumb and I'm an American. So help me out. Like what's the deal?
Everybody, so many people ask me, what's your second language?
Yeah, second language. Yeah, right. As an American. Kids and I talked about this. It's like
it's money.
Everybody.
Motherfucker, shut up. Money talk.
But
Capitalism is my second fucking language.
The town is very cool. Like we're staying in the city center, which is rough for sleeping, but it like every street is very small. It looks like an alley kind of, but like very lively, and like there's literally a restaurant or bar every.
That's so cool. Like
door.
sitting like in like a little cobblestone alley, at like a table and just having a beer and watching people go by is maybe the coolest thing you can do ever.
Hashtag
this has been fun. And I've been at most nights I've been hanging out with the LT World crew.
Hell yeah.
Those guys are those guys and gals are they know how to do it. They know how to party just enough, and they know how to like hit all the
on my $20 subscription dollar. You're welcome, Charlie.
They're vets, dude.
They are.
And that's what they do.
And they're so fucking funny. Like because they're all witty commentators.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Add Steph and Liam Grant in that bunch, and you're cooking.
You're laughing.
I was texting you, Quinn, last night about
at like 2 a.m. your time.
Yeah. One of the LT World people was like, oh, it's nice to meet another journalist. I'm like, what? No,
Me?
I'm not in media. I guess we kind of are, but
Dude, we might
very
be
strange.
at this point.
No, bro. I'm not trying to be in media. I'm fighting it.
Bro, I'm
I
down.
know you are. But I guess before we move on, though, the team has been awesome and very welcoming.
I'm a fan.
I have. I wanted to say a couple other things, but I do want to say it's a treat to be part of a team and help a team that is very hungry with a lot of talent that does not have access to resources. Like the U.S. team, it would be an amazing experience, I'm sure, to coach that team, but they're spoiled with access to good coaching and high level competition year round. So
since they were in middle school, high school,
yeah. So it's kind of like a bad news bears situation, you know, where it's just like it's very rewarding to help. I hopefully help a group of people like this.
Yeah. What's the game plan against Singapore in the morning? They play a really interesting style.
Yeah, they run like a 4-person dom.
Yeah, it's just like a dom, but they also like to shoot it off of dom motion because they're they seem super bouncy. They're a lot of their players, at least they're. Yeah,
it'll be like playing Brown again, I think, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I actually do like AP against them to stop some of their give goes
in the backfield. Yeah,
but I imagine they'll be able to hit those little skinny chisels a lot better.
What time in the morning?
The other team. It's I think the game is 2 p.m. our time, so Denver's 8 hours behind us.
6 a.m. Fuck.
You could watch the recording, or not.
Maybe I'll watch the. Maybe I'll get the recording.
You can watch the recording if we win.
Yeah. I'll just watch semis if you win. Is semis the same day, or would it be the next day?
Next day. So
next day you'll be gone.
The team will be tomorrow.
You'll be playing at PEC.
Yeah, when they're playing in finals.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Oh, the other thing that I want to say is just like so many people have come up to say hi and just like shout us out and like ask for gear, which is awesome. And so thank you for saying hi if you did, and definitely don't be shy. Well, you're not going to see this in time, but as these two know, I had a little bit of a tantrum last week about just the stress of putting some of this shit together, because someone sent a very reasonable message that we're I guess I'm calling an unfiner thing now, that set me off a little bit. But yeah, thanks for saying hi. Yeah, I didn't get the joke. And I took it out on these two guys.
Yeah, seconded, honestly, like at in London, it was crazy, kind of how many people were fans, and it was really cool.
Over here at Pod Practice, we are excited to announce that we are partnering with Greatest Bag to provide you with all of your ultimate bag needs. If you're looking to get a new ultimate bag, head on over to greatestbag.com. And if you use code PODPRACTICE10, you will receive 10% off your purchase.
Should we get into some Tokay SuperTeam?
Yeah, shit. Let's move backwards.
Yeah, we're going backwards, I guess. Well, Kins, your just your forehead, man. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's gonna be
cool. Head. Yeah, so I can kind of start with my like first day experience. I got in on like Thursday afternoon or later afternoon, I guess, probably from Lisbon, and I was rooting with Tanner Johnson, and he wasn't there when I got there, so I had to. Nobody was there when I got there because everybody was at dinner, so I had to venture the tube by myself, which I was kind of scared about, because if you're in if you know about Colorado, there's literally zero public transportation. So I'm just like been here my whole life, not good at public transportation. But the tube was sick and super easy. So we had dinner on Thursday, couple beers, and then
Connor could have picked a better spot, to be honest.
definitely Connor, man, come on, dude. It was
Both
like
of
an
you,
hour or two away from our hotel.
And it was like a chain Asian
Yeah, it's just like
fusion restaurant.
But what are you gonna do? And then we got to the fields on Friday morning. We had 2 friendlies that day, but we got to the fields at like 11 a.m., 10 a.m. And our first friendly wasn't till 3 or 4, I think. But we did like all the media stuff, and that was kind of fun because it's just not something that like I feel like Frisbee players get to do basically ever. Like a little bit on UFA teams, I guess, but like it was really cool because it really
was fun.
It felt like legit. I don't know. It just made me feel legitimate for a second. I feel like, which was really cool. Then we got to play Canada, which was pretty windy and fun, and we pulled out a kind of a big win. I was not surprised, but Canada had like a really, really talented roster, and they just kind of laid an egg in their first game, I guess.
Well, they came out strong.
They came out really strong. Yeah, I guess they took half, like 8-5 or something like that.
We were definitely down 7-4.
Yeah.
Did we play that one to 15?
No, I don't think a single game got to 15.
You're right.
Yeah, because the rounds were so
short.
I think we beat them like 12-8 or 12, something like that. 11-8.
We went in a big, big run the second half. The D-line started finding their stride. But
yeah. And
I feel like Pingu had a big game.
Pingu always has a big game, man. That guy is crazy.
Sick.
Pingu's super sick. And then we played the Euro Mixed Champs. Deep Space. What did that on? To be honest, I don't really know who they were.
Or GB champions.
Yeah, something like that. They're the Deep Space.
If that was a Euro champion, man,
they were the Euro champions.
Okay, for mixed, and then we played them.
Oh, really?
We actually might have gotten to 15 that game.
You gotta, there you go.
Huh?
Yeah.
I think we actually did get to 15 that game.
Probably.
Very likely.
I think so. I think it was 15-4 or something like that. Yeah, and then the hotel room, it's basically, what's the smallest bed? Is it like a twin or a double?
A twin is the smallest.
Okay,
in America,
so like literally,
in the States.
Again, here I'm going on my tangent about the beds. Like the bed was literally so small, and I'm not that big, but I was in a room with Tanner, and Tanner's like 6'4" and big. I was like, "How are you fitting on this bed?" He's like, "I don't know, it's fine for me." I'm like, "Jesus!" Like,
Pingu and I pushed ours together.
Did you really?
I don't know. I thought they were pushed together when I got there.
They were. Tanner and I were separated by probably 5 inches.
Yeah, I guess it was like that.
It's a strange situation. The ones here are exactly the same, but the USA hotel here, exactly the same.
What's the deal with that, man?
The sink. There's not a bathroom. There's just a sink in the room, the shower that has like a half a door, and then a toilet that has. It's like you're just in a stall.
Damn. Yeah, it's just so weird. I feel like in the US, it's like the smallest bed you can get in a hotel room is a queen. Right? Like you don't really get
full. Yeah, we've definitely had some.
In like a motel.
There are definitely hotels that have twin beds, but yeah.
But it's just not.
It was a much different experience.
Yeah. And then Saturday, also in between rounds, it's like at London Invite, we were waiting 2 rounds to play. So our bye was 2 rounds every single time we had a game. We waited 2 rounds to play again, which is just so. In the US, you play like 4 games and you get 1 bye of an hour usually. It's like.
I had that day at the beach where we started playing. My first game was at 10 a.m. and our last game was at 8 p.m.
Yeah. Like, bro.
It's crazy. It is crazy different.
Hello?
I do like starting later.
It's crazy.
I do like not having to be there at 7:30 in the morning to warm up.
Yeah, I agree. That's ridiculous. Like, yeah. And I don't even mind the time between rounds. It was too much, but I don't know.
I mean,
probably safer.
It's No, I just think like the field complexes are.
I can't hear you,
smaller.
man.
Yeah.
You can't hear me, Mikey?
Now I can. If you talk at the mic, I can hear you.
But it hasn't moved since the whole time.
All right, I'll
Well,
keep
you're
going.
very.
Then Saturday, weird day on Saturday, I will say. I'm sure, as people know, because we ended up losing we beat U24 Canada, which I was very impressed with them. Actually, they were quite solid for U24 team. How are they doing currently at U24s, Mike?
They're doing well. They lost to France.
Oh, really?
I forget what the score. It was close-ish,
Close.
maybe like 15-11 or something.
Okay. Well, they were solid. Shout out Ryan Shigley on that team. He was really good for them. U24 Canada, and they were solid. And then just shit the bed against Germany. I think like them being more of a team and just playing together was probably the difference. Like they were a really, really solid team. I'm confident that we were probably more talented top to bottom, but they just played significantly better as a team. Like putting together a bunch of mostly single gender players from all over the world that play a different style into mixed is like, it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. And I think that was probably the biggest difference in that game. We just had like a lot of inconsistencies and mistakes, but Germany, they played well. Like they played super solid against us.
It was clear that we had
a
mishmash of styles in that game.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, it was very interesting, and we hadn't like starting running O&D lines yet that game, which probably would have helped a little bit, but neither here nor there. I'm not sure it would have made a difference.
Ellie made a good point. Ellie Dastrup, who I hung out with in Madrid, and Benson's daughter. They also had someone that could give Manu some trouble. And like the U.S. honestly did not.
Like, without Trope.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, Levko was super solid. Super solid. And Manu hadn't played with us on Friday too, so like it was like basically her second game with us, and the U24 Canada game was pretty like windy and not really like a clean game where you can get chemistry from. So there was that too. But ended up losing by like 4 to Germany, which basically eliminated us, even though we had to play USA that night. And we won by it was on Universe. We won on Universe and still got bounced out of bracket play because of point diff, basically. But the US game was super, super fun. It had the Kins and I were talking about this a little bit, but it had like the feel of just like semis of nationals, really big UFA game, like a lot of people in the crowd, kind of under the light situation. It's just like you could just kind of feel like the pressure and kind of the excitement in the air and around the field. So it was like one of the most fun games I've been a part of. I think even if we were to have lost on Universe, I'd probably still be saying the same thing. It was, great that we won, but super fun game. Curious how you guys were.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't the cleanest game, but
no,
it was a very exciting game with a ton of big plays and a lot of energy, like you were saying. And I I'm sure it did help us a little bit that the crowd was so in our favor.
Definitely.
I feel like I haven't experienced that ever except for at a Summit game.
Yeah, and USA were missing, some of their best players too, like Trope and Kayla weren't playing.
Chastain also is still out.
And Chastain wasn't playing either, so they're definitely missing some very, very strong players, which in a Universe point, win could be the difference. You never know, but
we were missing Kins.
So again, maybe it's close to a wash. yeah, I mean, pretty sick.
Jakob
Maybe.
had a big game against our boy G. Leezy.
Yeah, I mean, and Grant was like, whatever, 80%, not feeling it too. Like he was a little hurt too, and but yeah,
We
Jakob
got an
just is
old
like
ass team. No.
uses his body so well, man. Like if the disc goes up and it's floaty and Jakob's in the area, like it's his, like he's coming down with it.
Yeah, he does body out well if you put it out in front.
It's kind of crazy.
I felt like in the Germany game I feel like it was just a lack of urgency because I don't think people really knew like
It didn't feel. Yeah, it did.
I
it
think
just
that
felt,
was like the problem was like we didn't really know the fact that like it was a must-win game.
I did.
I thought it was really interesting to watch.
I def did.
Buja play in that game because he's an incredible player. But his style, especially, was like really, honestly, and just in that game, counterproductive. Especially against also Germany poaches really well.
Yeah,
and that line, like his line, had to go upwind, and he is a very strong upwind thrower. But he like the Colombian style, especially his style, is to get like 2-yard passes back and forth. That unless everybody else knows how to play that style, you're not really changing the point of attack at all. You're basically just playing into their poachy style.
It's not
of
like it's a
defense.
bad style. It's just we weren't all playing the same style, and so that kind of made it so it didn't work.
Right. I saw him today, by the way. He drove up to Madrid. Or
is he playing
from Madrid to he's too old, but he came to support Colombia.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, Kins, Mike, what did you guys think of the U.S. game?
I thought the U.S. game was sick. Like you said, a lot of energy. And I felt like it was just a bunch of really good players trying really hard. And that's why it was kind of sloppy because it was just like the defensive pressure was high and the game felt, important. And so there's a bunch of people like flying around making plays. And then there were some good offensive plays as well. But like the teams lack like that chemistry that would withstand like really high defensive pressure.
Yeah.
Like that would allow an O-line to be able to execute against
I think that's a really good
defenses
point.
like that.
Yeah. I think that's a really good point.
It made me kind of wish more ultimate games at the highest level were a little sloppier in that way. I liked seeing all the big plays and maybe some hasty decisions.
Yeah, maybe not sloppy, but just like a little bit more like loose. Like maybe it's going to lend itself to being sloppy, but like that game was so cool because one, it was like high level play and it was high level players like making decisions that they probably wouldn't generally make in like a club semis or a club finals or something like that.
Yeah.
Which was really cool.
It was very exciting. And I will admit that I've been a little bitter about the selections because I would obviously have loved to see both of you on that roster and other folks. I mean, not to say that I'm stoked about a lot of the players that are there, but now I feel like I can root for them. Now that we beat them, I guess.
Maybe they won't lose in pool play.
I know that,
maybe they got their loss out.
Yeah. I think hopefully we helped prepare them a little bit, like to feel the energy, to be reminded of what that energy feels like. All those players have been there, at least like the ones that are not alternates for sure.
Yeah,
they've been there.
And I keep being like, oh, maybe I won't root for them, but I just like. And then I just realized like how many people that I love on that team and I'm close with, and I'm just like, well, okay, yeah, fucking like whatever, dude. Yeah,
dude. By the way, it's been so fun to root for the U.S. men's team. Just like as a pure fan here at U24, it's like, and it's fun. It's actually fun that nobody else is rooting for them except for like the U.S. parents,
just like a few people.
But I'm like, these are my I know all of these players, and obviously I'm rooting for Zeke. And I'm rooting for Toby, and I'm rooting for Bob.
Is Zeke back on the field? What's the deal with him?
He had a stomach bug.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He pooped it out, I guess.
That makes sense.
Yeah, Zeke. Pooped it out. Well,
Dude,
sick. Yeah.
in the Italy, so they were down 0-4 against Italy.
They went down 0-4. I knew they were
They
down
could
11-10.
not hold, huh? Wow.
They couldn't like it was all about the D lines. Honestly, Toby had a rough start.
Oof.
But I thought it was cool, but also was surprised how much they were crossing. Like Declan I don't know how many points he played. He was playing a shit ton of D points. Toby played a bunch of D points. Kyle Liu played a bunch of D points.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like they
Yeah,
still play
'cause that
that way.
team's
Like
so
those players
stacked.
are that much better.
Who
I mean,
have you,
I don't know.
Who have you been impressed with outside of like our boys?
Declan.
Declan's look good.
Yeah,
I like
like
how you like whispered in that Laroni was having a bad game. Like you're like,
And just like
it was.
sprinkled it.
It was fun. I sat by Twee, his mom.
no, but you like went in like a hushed tone, like there
I
were
know,
people
'cause
around, like we're on the
I know.
pod.
I
It's
just
all
don't
good.
want to
Like-
admit that he.
like we're talking at the fields. You go,
Great players can have tough games. It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Laroni didn't play.
It is. I don't know.
No,
why
it
I
was
did
just
that.
funny how you delivered it because
He's
it was
still
like
the goat.
for
He's still the goat.
No, but for the context, like getting
Yeah.
in like whisper.
Yeah.
It is interesting that they cross people over. You'd think that they would just be like, "Fuck it, let's ride." Like with the even like, say really that like those players are that much better than because I looked at their roster, I thought it was stacked, but maybe those players
Yeah.
aren't just that much better.
I mean, my cycle, I guess, yeah, we never got broken more than once in a row. So I
In
guess
a
it
row.
wasn't. I think we only got broken. Yeah, we never got broken twice in a row.
Let's
So,
start
like,
that debate.
So we never. I don't know. I feel like this team is better. I would think I would yield that this team is probably better than my U24 cycle. Like the top talent might be similar, but the depth on this one is
This one looks crazy, dude.
like I was at the bottom of the roster, and the bottom of the roster guys on this team are better than I was for sure
At the time, you think?
at the time. Yeah, at the time. Like if I was U20, like
I
my
don't know.
U24, I don't know.
either.
Maybe not. Maybe not. I would. We could argue it, but I think I would probably. I'd probably yield, honestly.
I do,
but
think
I'm not sure.
If they play Italy again, I think they're gonna win like 15-8. I do actually.
Yeah, we were talking to Pingu. So Pingu played
Fucking Pingu.
on the Italy team that my cycle played in semis. And the cycle before, Italy took Becky and Jack Williams and that team to Universe in semis. So they were like super hyped to play us in semis, my cycle, and we took half on them 8-1. And I was talking to Ping. We were talking to me and Tanner, because Tanner was on the team too. Me and Tanner were talking to Pingu about that game. It was just funny.
Oh, Pingu.
Italy's gotten pretty darn good though, for sure.
Definitely.
But should we backtrack to Tokay
Sunday.
and
Tokay?
I guess like obviously we'll just quickly talk about Sunday. Whatever. We played France. We went up early. They came back. We lost on Universe.
They
were also Poachy D, male heavy.
Yeah.
But like
it was also clear
only
that
got
they
up for one game too. Like the team
Yeah.
really only got up. Like that's why
For the
I was
US.
like it didn't. I think it's Tokay SuperTeam and it's a bunch of superstars. And if you put us out in the corner of the field complex in a game that feels like shit, we're not performing because we're superstars. We're trying to play under the lights in front of people. I don't give a fuck about like these other games, bro. I think that's what it was. Like
Yeah.
We
And I
did go.
will say, the France team, they also were better as a team, like far better, like them. And,
no,
like,
but we were
I agree.
playing so, like,
I agree.
So
I agree.
low.
I agree. But they were. I was very impressed with their athleticism, top to bottom.
They're fast.
They might have been the most athletic team besides the U.S. from top to bottom. Just like pure athleticism, I was very, very impressed. Like with everybody on their team.
Yeah, the World Games.
Kids, we need to
teams
get
are
over
good.
this. We can give other people props and stuff. You need to get over the whole. Like
Well,
we could shout out other teams,
Well,
other players, and be
I actually
okay.
kind of want to move past the games, honestly. Like we got to
Yeah,
play
let's
the
do it.
U.S. and that was sick. That's like kind of that's what I wanted to do. I know
That's what it was
you two
for
wanted to
anyway.
do.
yeah.
That's the
You
only
know,
reason we
that
went
game
there,
literally
basically,
could have gone
Yeah.
either way. It was an amazing
Yeah.
experience.
Take charge of your real estate future with HomeForce, the all-in-one home buying service built specifically for Ultimate players, their friends, and their families. Powered by the Ultimate Lending Team. Homeforce was engineered by Ultimate players for Ultimate players. It's your one-stop shop for everything real estate. Let Jim Nolte and his team at Homeforce quarterback the whole process or jump in just where you need help. Follow at Ultimate Living Colorado on Instagram.
I do want to make sure that we shout out like people on the team in a moment. But before that, so we were talking to Matty Sang afterwards. I can't remember if all of us were there or not.
Yeah,
and he had a good point. It was kind of funny and kind of, in a perfect way. Like, we can just say, like, we got to beat Team USA. We'll see how they do at
and they
World
never
Games.
get to play us.
Yeah, and they never get to get revenge. Like, do they really care? It doesn't really matter to me, but for us and what we were setting out to do, in some ways it worked out quite well, because we also got to really enjoy that evening afterwards. We stayed at the clubhouse, I'm sure, much longer than we would have if we knew we were still going to be playing semis the next day.
Yeah, definitely.
And that was a really fun night.
Is that the night we were all eating Chinese food with our bare hands?
But I ordered that takeout that took like 2 hours to get delivered.
I think it might have been more than 2 hours, and then it came and it had no utensils, and the clubhouse wouldn't give us utensils. So people,
because they closed.
Where like the entire Tokay SuperTeam was literally just like using their bare hands on like rice and noodles and meat,
like fried rice,
and then people were like eating like with like lids and using chopsticks or using straws as chopsticks. It was fucking hilarious. Yeah, and we probably didn't go to bed till, I think Tanner and I fell asleep at like 2 on Saturday before we played on Sunday too. So like,
me and Pingu were right to bed, bro. We were about our shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pingu, we were the all business room.
That's so
me and Pingu don't fuck around.
And then just like hanging out with everybody on Sunday was by far the best part of it. Like, better than beating USA, honestly. Like, just hanging out, partying with everybody, and just like getting to know everybody. It was so cool. The group girls were so fun to like party because they're just like into techno and shit, which was hilarious. And
yeah, so let's talk. Can we like let's go through everybody. Let's start with Ine and PA. How about, what was it like having?
Bro, like Ine sent me the cutest message afterwards, just like talking about like getting to meet me and the experience. Dude, it was one of the best like messages I've ever. We already shouted out Ine in the last one, but Ine is amazing. Like, yeah, we were talking about her. She's amazing. PA is also amazing, like super fun and funny. When I love when PA, when people would ask for like things on the line, he would just like be like, no. And just like shoot them down completely. Somebody asked, do you mean? So I have a specific. Connor walked on and he's like, "Can I get this one too?" And PA looked at him and said, "Nope." And then just turned back to the line and started talking to him. But he did that with like 4 or 5 things, and he's awesome. And hopefully, I get to play for Moon one day. You never know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, maybe.
It'll be fun.
There's so many cool European teams I'm learning.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to mention that it was incredibly fun to like coach with them, and like they're just like so collaborative in ways that I am used to with coaching with like DK and Joe. But it was a refreshing experience, and their attention to detail on certain things was awesome to see, like especially Ine's attention to like culture details.
Mm-hmm.
PA I think are very actually quite similar.
Yeah, it's really, really cool, like kind of going off what you're saying, just like getting coached or just like being around like people that think about the game a little differently or just in new ways. Like Kins and I were talking about that, like Kins was playing for different teams and just like experiencing a little bit different Frisbee than you've experienced, and playing with different people and for different people is like so cool, and something I have like barely done up to this point.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that. So
I'm hoping
really
like I want to do that so much more. Yeah,
that showed in your play style, because I feel like early on you were kind of struggling to fit in because, in my opinion, you were like you're the type of player to wait for a clean lane before you cut. And
Yeah,
a
I was
lot of
just, like,
times you
making
cut
a
and
lot.
don't make another cut. You just clear.
Mhm.
I think the U.S. style of playing has maybe hindered some of your freelancing
My
or
super team
creativity.
playing. Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah, I mean, I definitely changed that in the Germany and
the
the
later
USA game. I was definitely like going at it a little bit more, but I was definitely like deferring a little bit more and in clearing space, and I think that's
one funny
it's such an
thing.
interesting. I feel like it's such an interesting team. I feel like everybody, like, nobody ever really acknowledged it, but I feel like everybody was like so nervous because like the team is called like Super Team. You're playing with all these people you don't know who are like these really
Like,
good
there's
players, and
pressure
I
on
feel
you
like
in a weird
everybody was so nervous to perform well and to like prove that they should be there, I think, and like it was never acknowledged. And I wish I would have acknowledged it a little bit. Like I was one of the captains somehow. So I wish I would have acknowledged that a little bit, because I think everybody was just like feeling the pressure a ton, and nobody ever said anything about it. I think it would have been better to like get it out in the open. But
that could have like helped everybody release
yeah.
that energy a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right, because a lot of the Europe, I think especially our females are very humble players, and
Mm-hmm.
like I don't think they think of themselves as superstars.
Yeah, which is crazy.
One funny thing that it was difficult for me to get used to, I think Kins, you and I were talking about this a little bit, and I couldn't decide if it was a good or bad thing, is I felt like we were also moving on like a European schedule in terms of like being a little bit slow to like go to the next thing or to like
Yeah, and like
start
warm up and
things.
stuff.
Yeah, that was I don't know. I don't know what to say about it, because on one hand it's like I trust people to just be ready. On the other hand, I'm like I get nervous.
There's like nowhere to warm up though. It's
That
like,
was the biggest issue. I think there was literally no space to warm up anywhere at that field site, and I think that was like the biggest reason people like weren't. I don't like getting
but
full,
even
like
us as
complete
coaches,
full
like
warms.
we were like, okay, we have to
Yeah.
tell the players to be here at this time, and then it would be like
Yeah.
2 minutes before that time, and we're like we're still talking, and I'm like,
yeah,
just
but
checking my watch.
honestly, I noticed that with like team. I think that's just like teams. A lot of teams, honestly.
Interesting.
I don't like. I feel like I don't know.
Like
I
teams
feel
in
like
Europe.
I feel like on Summit, like we go to practice yesterday, like we roll in and we warm up, but it's a lot of like chit chat and stuff.
You might be right.
Huh.
So it's everybody. It's us too.
Yeah, probably.
Support Pod Practice by visiting our coffee page. Donate and we'll send you a sticker. You can also support the pod by visiting the Be Ultimate Pod Practice store.
So anyway, Root Girls. We had
Yeah.
5 of them. Did we have 5 of them?
Yeah,
5. Yeah. Yeah.
Lola,
Christina, Lola, Floor, Sarah,
Aurora.
Aurora.
Damn. Yeah, they were super fun.
Mm-hmm.
Always
Super
dancing.
athletic too. Yeah. Yeah. I got to shout out Ben Dameron. That was one of the people I was like most looking forward to playing with, and me and him, I think, play really well together and could play so well together if we had more time as well. And
100%.
super fun to play with him. Same with Jack Hatchett. I love playing with Jack.
He's so funny.
He's funny, and I've been buddies with him for a while, so it was really fun to play on the same team with him too.
Well, Ben's going to New York, so you should just go to New York, Quinn.
Yeah, maybe, you never know.
What was I gonna say about? I like. I did think it was really funny how Aurora walked around the fields. Like, I feel like I walk around the fields. Like the whole weekend, I couldn't help but laugh about it. Yeah, because like it was so funny because everyone always asks when I walk around, like if I'm hurt and if I'm limping. And I went up to Aurora and I was like, "Do people ask you if you're hurt?" She goes like, "Yeah, people always ask me if I'm like limping around." It's funny, just like the random little things, I guess, that you can connect with over like different people. Because it was fun, just like getting to know, having like little moments with everyone across the weekend is makes, I don't know, the time feel well spent.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Manu, of course. Obviously, everybody wants to play with Manu because it's Manu. Pingu was incredible, man. Like on defense, like we had him on Chris in the USA game for most of it. And when Chris was playing and he did a great job. And Chris even came up to me after and he's like, how's Pingu? I was like, he's really good. And he's like, yeah, he just guarded me for like the first time. And I was like, he like automatically gave me some trouble early on. I told Pingu that. Pingu said I was lying to him, but it happened. Chris told me that.
He's also.
I thought Nick and Connor were two of the best too, as well.
Oh yeah,
Nick, like you were saying how people were feeling nervous. I don't think the people that I didn't see were nervous were Nick, Connor, and Manu. Like they didn't seem nervous.
Yeah, Nick. I was trying to get Nick to play Summit, dude. Yeah, I was trying to get him to play Summit. He would be, bro. If he played in the UFA, he'd be like one of the best players in the UFA automatically. He's like 6'6" and
with like a 7-foot wingspan
and a massive wing. He got like 4 straight up like hand blocks on like good throwers
straight to the ground.
It was insane. The dude's and he plays like a pickup player too. Like he caught a D in the US game and threw an upside down backhand because he caught the D and threw it so fast that he didn't even get the disc flat or the right way. It was literally like vertical upside down for like a 3-yard gain.
And he's a good thrower too.
He's an amazing in the wind. He's amazing because he's from Wellington, I believe, which is the windiest place in the world.
Is it really?
He told me.
Do you guys remember
it's the windiest city in the world?
Do you guys remember when we were talking about, I think, some clip from Luck, or I don't know what it was, and there was like a full field hammer that this dude
he's the dude that threw it.
Yeah. So we're like at breakfast one of the mornings, and he's like, "Hey, Mikey, one of my mates just sent me this clip," and I was like, "What is it?" And he's like, "It's you trash talking me for throwing this hammer." And so he has then he sent me this video of like a side-by-side one of him throwing another one that's, I guess, a dot. But I apologize, Nick, for doubting you, but I still stand by
it's not it's not a throw you're going to throw usually in like our style of play, but it was sick.
His defense was that they were so outmatched and couldn't move the ball, basically. Like he's like, I just had to shoot. So that's fair. So Nick, Connor.
He was sick. Connor was sick. Loved playing with Connor. We added Bort late, Ben Ort, and he was fun to get to know and play with. National champ Ben Ort with Truck. That was fun.
He's like the most. He like tells me a joke and he's so serious that I'm like not. I don't realize.
Can't tell if it's.
And by the way, Connor had some huge blocks. He had that
he had
massive
a couple big
one
ones
on box.
Yeah, that deep shot from Kez to box, that was sick. The Colombians, we already talked about Manu and Jorge, but Cappy too. They're always smiling, dude. They're always having so much fun, and they're the sweetest people. Like I love them. I just it just makes me happy to just like be around them, which is awesome. Who else Martina. I didn't know who Martina was before this weekend. And she's just she's probably taller than me and can rip. It was like one of the best players on our O-line. Super fun to hang out with afterwards too. Like just super cool. Everybody was just so cool, man. Like I can't say enough good things about like the entire team.
She can really rip.
Yeah, dude, she can rip.
Martina and Jakob were the only two people that were at all 3 tournaments with me.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
really?
Yeah, they were both at elite, and then they were both at the beach tournament as well. So they were grinding. They're grinding.
That's
a lot of
sick.
reps for them.
And then I got a personal shout out for Tanner Johnson too. He was also like one of the last editions, but
That was my pickup.
yeah, that was Kins.
Big,
Yeah.
big
it was
Kins
Kins.
pickup. By
First of
the
all-
way,
First of all,
By
he's
the
like so
way, yeah.
good at frisbee and at mixed specifically as well.
He's really good.
And he played amazing for us. But he was on my U24 team, like I said
USA
earlier.
Game.
Yeah, big USA game. One of the craziest catches on like a weird under. Maybe we can clip it in. But I played with U24s with him, and he was like one of our best players. Like, and I was like near the bottom, and he was always so nice to me. And like, I was in a room with him, and just like he was just like so nice, like loves frisbee. I think we just like bonded and connected so well. He's just like such a good dude.
Yeah.
So shout out Tanner.
I had a ton of fun getting
And
to know
then-
him. Actually, I didn't know he was
Yeah.
kind of so frisbee nerdy.
He's a huge frisbee nerd, which I didn't realize too. He was like watching our games like right after, like in the hotel room, like right as we got home, which was cool. And then shout out our admin Chris Epps and
Emma.
for media, and then Patricia for our PT physio. But yeah. Is that everybody? I don't want to miss anybody. I feel bad.
Absolutely
if I missed you,
nobody else.
didn't miss you on purpose. I think
But
that's
maybe
like-
maybe the team organizer, the GM.
Yeah.
Steph
Well,
Pazzo.
Of course. Steph is the best. Steph is funny. We're at this like little pub before we go to like the club afterwards on Sunday night. And Steph walks in late, and the first thing I say to him, like, so what, you buying us around? He's like last round, right? And he was like, oh. And then he just goes up to the bar and does it. And I was like completely kidding, but he bought everybody around, and I like Steph is just the best. Yeah, it was a pleasure being on his team and playing for him. Hope to do it again soon.
Yeah, he's the best. I've been hanging out with him all week too, and like we're just like tight already. Like I've hung out with him, I don't know, for 3-4 days now, and I feel like he's one of my oldest friends, to be honest.
I feel like he has a way of doing that. His personality.
I want to just make sure we didn't miss anybody.
I think that's everybody, right?
Let's see.
There was Carmen.
Oh, and no, Angela.
Angela.
Angela and Carmen. Angela.
And
yeah,
Carmen.
Angela got hurt, which was
You
such
just
a
have to
bummer,
think
but-
about like the different regions, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like,
So Angela and I had many great discussions about defense, and actually both her and Tanner pointed out things about AP, like areas that they were looking for blocks. Angela almost got one, and Tanner did get one against USA, basically on the force back, like off a sideline. Like they were just hunting basically the skinny space, kind of like where we would maybe slide, or like teams are cutting for that chisel, which you guys probably understand and makes zero sense to anybody else. But
Yeah.
I was really impressed. Like they both asked me, like, is this okay? Well, Angela asked me about it, and I said, yeah, absolutely. And when Tanner said it, he was like, well, since I knew the force back was coming, I just sprinted to this space. And I was like, that's insane. Like I is someone who's been part of this system for I don't know, 4 years or whatever.
Yeah.
I've never explicitly thought about that as like a block getting opportunity.
Yeah. And shout out like Angela. So Angela like rolled her ankle bad. Like it was fucked up, like swollen, black, blue, crazy. And like played great D in the US game, like against obviously amazing players. So that was incredible to see. And just a joy to be around. And then Carmen had one of the sickest throws I have ever seen. I think in the Germany game. You know that throw that Jimmy threw to Kocher, and I think it won throw of the. I think it won
Yeah.
throw of the year in like 2023.
The backhand.
It was just like this backhand from sideline to the middle, right over his head into his like breadbasket. Carmen threw like almost that exact throw, probably like 10 or 15 yards less, but just like rips this backhand. I can't remember who it was to. It might have been to Floor. And she just like, it just like ends up in her hands. Like
Yeah,
she
it's
doesn't even like
crazy.
catch it. It just like ends up
Yeah.
in her hands without even doing anything, just running straight. It was fucking insane. And can't say enough good things about just hanging out with her as well. Yeah.
I feel like
yeah.
she dresses like you, Quinn.
Yeah, a little bit. I feel like all the most of the group girls do.
Yeah.
And then Carmen as well, yeah.
I'll give
Yeah.
just quick hitters on the group girls. Obviously, Aurora, amazing defender, but I was impressed with her throws. I didn't know that she could handle.
She should have been playing O-line, man.
Yeah, very possibly if she wasn't such a strong defender. And Lola, by the way,
Yeah.
speaking of defenders, I don't know if I've seen a better matchup defender.
Yeah.
Floor, speed, and that she like skied
Dude.
for that game
She
winner.
just gets up, man.
It's so explosive.
And did she have
Christina's
the hand
ability to
block
just like
in the USA
Yeah.
game?
yeah, she did
Yeah.
on Universe.
Bro. Crazy.
Yeah. Christina's ability to just like
Wow.
to just be a little ping pong ball, basically just like to plinko around the field, and see like small spaces very well.
And just so
Who's-
silly and goofy, and her smile just like I feel like makes everybody around her just like
Yeah.
giggle and happy, which is like just the best thing to have on a team.
Totally. And who's the last one? Who's the last group girl? Sarah. Sarah, who's like
Yeah.
so for some reason so like lacks so much confidence in herself. But
For no
like all
reason.
around, just like she's like afraid to play offense, but then like throws these 30-yard away dimes. And yeah, she like they're all amazing players.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, did
Shout
you
out
lose
everybody.
me?
That was awesome. No, you're good.
Okay.
You're good. Yeah. Shout out everybody on that team, man. That was one of the most fun experiences I've had with Frisbee. It was amazing, and it wouldn't have been that way if not everybody was just like so cool on the team. So very appreciative of Steph and all the players and everybody that was part of it, making it such a good experience.
Agreed. Definitely one of the most fun weekends of my life. Honestly, this
Yeah.
has been like the most fun I've had in any year. 2025 has been my best year.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, Mike.
Yeah.
Definitely wish Kins was out there playing, of course, but
Yeah.
he's going to be back soon. We know that he's going to be back
Stronger
soon.
than ever.
It was still really fun though. It was cool.
Yeah.
Cool to
Yeah.
cap off the Euro trip like that.
We got
All
anything
right.
else?
No, I guess good luck on the road trip.
Ooh, doggy.
Wish me luck at PEC
I can't.
and go check.
Go check what?
Yeah.
Check.
What is
Check.
the team called?
I mean, it's the Czech national team. I don't know. Cheshi? What does it say?
Okay.
Cheshko?
Chesko. I thought they had like a name.
Costco?
Like a lot of the other places have, like the US doesn't, but a lot of other countries have like names for their teams too.
They do?
Yeah, like all the Australian teams have like different names, and
That's stupid.
yeah,
That's
well,
not
there you
stupid. I
go.
just don't.
Go check.
Yeah.
All right. Peace.